The world's growing population has increased the need to improve crop production while maintaining healthy and sustainable farming methods. The use of genetic modification in crop production has improved crop yields, decreased pesticide use, and conserved soil. Genetic modification has been proven to be a safe and viable concept. I will inform you about the basis of genetic modification, the benefits of genetic modification, and the proven safety of genetic modification, to show that it can and should be used as an effective tool to improve production in agriculture. GMOs are plants or animals whose cells have been inserted with an unrelated gene that helps them develop specific characteristics. Plants might be genetically developed to increase nutrients or to improve pest resistance. Toxicoli 2013 stated that biotechnology is taken to mean those processes whereby genes that are not indigenous to the organism are transferred to microorganisms, plants, or animals where the existing gene is permanently modified. Genetic modification occurs when scientists change the nutritional quality, toxic components, and the chemical composition of plants. They transfer the desired gene into plants that do not have the gene. Some examples of genetic modification are vaccines, such as insulin, and pest-resistant crops and seeds. The genetically modified vaccines make it easier and less expensive to produce medication, while pest-resistant crops and seeds limit crop losses and increase farmers' yields. There are many benefits of genetically modified crops. They increase crop production, reduce the use of pesticides, and conserve soil. Genetically modified crops help increase crop production. Gruesome 2015 stated that on average the production of GM crops reduced chemical pesticide input by 37%, increased crop yields by 22%, and increased farmers' profits by 68%. Some examples of genetically modified crops are tomatoes, peas, and rice. Tomatoes are modified to help them have a longer shelf life and to prevent them from rotting. Peas have been inserted with proteins that act as a pesticide and help them resist pests. Rice had been modified to contain high amounts of vitamin A that help with young children's immune systems. These are all great examples of all the wonderful things genetic modification can do. Klumper 2014 stated that overall pesticide use on corn, soybeans, and cotton declined by about 2.5 million pounds. The amount of pesticides used now has decreased by 6% since the time modified crops were introduced. Genetically modified crops also help conserve soil and water. It reduces the need to plow fields by helping the crops maintain moisture. This also helps farmers have a plant to harvest every year instead of possibly losing their crops to drought. The safety of genetically modified crops has increased over time. Today, genetically modified foods are just as safe to consume as traditional foods. The genes that they alter increase the vitamin and iron content of crops. By genetically changing the crops, it helps produce have a longer shelf life, increases the nutritional value, and increases the flavor and texture. Toxicoli 2013 stated that vitamin and mineral levels are to be used in developing countries, where the hunger and vitamin deficiency diseases are common. The chemical composition of genetically modified crops has drastically changed over the years. Some examples of genetically modified crops are strawberries and tomatoes. They modify these products by inserting fish genes in them that protect the fruits from freezing when they are being delivered to grocery stores. Genetic modification is used to make crops safe to consume, while helping them grow bigger and stay fresh longer. Scientists inject safe bacteria and DNA into crops. This gives them the desired traits they want, without altering the taste of the food. Lee, 2014, stated that over 40 types of plants have been genetically modified worldwide, and each of these plants has been fully regulated by the FDA. Although some people argue that genetically modified crops are not safe to consume and do not increase farmers' yields, these statements are not true. The crops produced using this method are regulated by the FDA, are formed using only safe genes from other organisms, and are proven to be safe to consume. They also argue that this is more expensive for farmers to plant genetically modified crops. But as time goes on, the cost continues to go down as scientists are developing less expensive ways to produce these crops. The agricultural industry has made dramatic changes over the last several decades. The use of genetically modified foods can aid in productivity and decrease the use of harmful pesticides and herbicides. Genetically modified foods have been proven to be safe and in fact healthy. The future of agricultural sustainability would be benefited by the use of genetic modification.